Alright, so we're coming back from Big Bear Autocross. NAM's roll bars installed, all of that stuff. But why don't you tell us what happened at the autocross?
So it sounded like it was an air leak or a vacuum leak, and the car lost a little bit of its power on the last run, and also it suddenly shut off while idle too in grid.
Okay, so we ran the smoke machine and we found a few things, like the original clamps. It wasn't really holding, or at least smoke was getting through, so retightened that. And then some other stuff that probably should have been obvious. We're getting smoke out of all of these little hoses here. So the hoses are in pretty bad shape and there's no clamps on them. But we just didn't do anything because, well, this is the first Miata we got and it came like that. But if we run the smoke machine, and we let it go for a while. So this smoke machine here is pretty cool. Auto SDT206. Because when we ran a small amount of pressure through it, you could hear the air leak, but you couldn't see where it was leaking from. So once we run this for a little bit, you can start seeing that, hey, there's a little smoke coming from there, and hey, there's a little smoke coming from here as well. And there was a whole bunch of smoke coming from this side, but that seems to be mostly gone. So we're going to go ahead and clamp up these hoses, replace one of them, and then see how it fares on the next test. Alright, so we changed up the hose, found a couple clamps for them, up, and now we have smoke coming from somewhere else at the bottom. We got to trace that now, because there doesn't seem to be too much coming from the original places. It's a little bit coming from here. So we drove it around. It's still having issues going from like 45 miles per hour going to a stoplight. It will dip a little bit. So we actually just jumped the tenon ground while we had it on with everything else off. And then we adjusted the idle screw. And yeah, when we jumped it, it went down a few hundred RPM. So we adjusted it so that it stays the same now. So hopefully the ambient idle and the ECU idle will be good now. We'll find out soon enough. Also changed out the stuck bleeder calipers, or the little bleeder valves on the calipers. So now we have some speed bleeders in there. Bled the brakes again. And now Nam's installing his little GV Very style lip. Got a few bolts through there. Feels pretty good. Everything snug?
Yep.
Alright. So we'll try and do the side skirts too, but the jack stands are in the way. So we'll probably put it on little wheel cribs and then see how it goes from there. And then we'll take it out for a test drive again. Alright, so we installed the side skirts and the front lip. Just a few bolts, some rivets. Looks good. The idle seems better, but there is some kind of stumble on acceleration now. So you just gotta drive it around a little bit and see what happens. But so far it seems like we cleared the driveway and everything with the lip on, so that's good. You have your license and everything? Okay, put your seatbelt on and just drive around the block, and then we'll see how the car is. Brakes are bled too, so the brakes should feel pretty good. If they feel weird, let me know. Alright, go for it.